Hello and welcome. This is etcd community meeting, and we today is April 6th. The first topic on the agenda is etcd activities on KubeCon, but I assume Josh you proposed it. Do you want to?
Yeah. Yep. Hold on. I'm trying to find the notes for this meeting so I can add another link. There we go. Yeah. So we're doing a bunch of things at KubeCon. So I'm interested in finding out who in our community is going to be at KubeCon, and of course, enrolling everybody in helping us make those things happen. So the first thing, if you actually follow the link, is we are doing a Contrib Fest with the idea of getting people to contribute to KubeCon. Yeah. So if you can double check that, Mark, and make sure that matches the schedule that they sent you, because I'm basing it off of a different kiosk. So so the first sort of big thing is the Contrib Fest. We went ahead and we actually created a new sort of description and stuff for the public for the Contrib Fest. At this point, we need to come up with sort of a rough plan of how we're going to run it and who is actually going to be there to run it. Several people have volunteered. I mean, oops. Oh, okay. Oops. I thought that assumed that was the link to our organizing document. So let me add a link to our organizing document.
No, sorry. I added the link for the session, so everyone can sign up.
Hold on. So, okay, hold on. Let me add a link for that.
Okay. Yeah. So, as for the topics, I mean, I originally proposed or I reserved the Contrib Fest. My idea was to pick up couple of help wanted issues that we have in the repo, and maybe design quickly something more guided. By which what I mean, like do preparations for them. So most of them are should be entry level issues, and they're not super unfortunately most of them are improving our testing and migration, like simple work on migration. But I think doing one of them should take only a couple of minutes. If someone wants to go deeper, doing one of them should be pretty fast and easy approvable, and then we can advance if needed for some people. And I think there were a couple of active maintainer or couple of active contributors and maintainers interested, like even Joe Betts. I think he will be on KubeCon, but I didn't get confirmation, so maybe we'll do something more advanced.
And also, Bogdan, are you going to be there?
Yeah, I confirmed.
Okay. Yeah. I listed you as one of the leaders for it to make sure you could get a KubeCon pass.
Yeah, so I was gonna suggest. Yeah, thanks. I was gonna, for the issues, I was gonna bring up that maybe we can do a flag. I can look for like experimental flags. It's a little bit longer, I think. Maybe longer than a test, but maybe a little bit more interesting. So I can look at them and pick the one that is maybe sort of less more straightforward for approval. So I thought that would be a little bit more interesting than a test. Just an idea. But
yeah, I mean, I want to be prepared at least with some of the attendees to start with, half an hour of, here's how you put something in the source code of etcd and run the tests. We have, you can see the description there, and we've told people that they need to bring a Linux laptop or dev container setup. And one of the things CNCF just pinged me about was that I need to link to source code, which just etcd, unless we want to link them to something else.
So I did current ideas with
Mhm.
it might be, I mean, with a dedicated maintainer dedicated, I would think we could graduate, like, but the main thing is that you would need to define a scope, which is not for graduation, which is not something that it can be easily done by, like,
Mhm.
either we go through all those issues and then define a scope for each flag and say ourselves and define a clearly easy to do task, because those are to clarify, maybe I should separate. Those are not help wanted. Those are first, how do you call it? Good first issue.
Yeah.
Those are, I meant those, not help wanted. Help wanted are a little bit.
Yeah, we can even honestly be a little bit flexible about this, because we don't necessarily know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a very different situation if we have people who are like, hey, I just graduated from Go Academy and I'm interested in etcd. Versus oh, hey, I'm in Kubernetes API machinery and was wondering if I could help out. So it might actually even be like a, hey, we're ready to do good first issues for the Go Academy people. And we're ready to do the experimental issues if somebody shows up from who's a Kubernetes contributor or whatever.
Okay. So action items are, if anyone is interested, sign up for the session and be there. And for everyone that wants to contribute, please add whatever your ideas are that you would want to work on.
Yeah.
Quick question there. Josh, maybe, if anybody been to Contrib Fest before, in your opinion, what is a successful one looks like?
A successful one is that we get a few people, and based on previous experience, if we got 6 people, I would be wildly happy about it. Who maybe weren't previous contributors or haven't been contributors in a while, to get involved in contributing again. So like completing an issue or whatever is not really a goal, except to the extent that it maybe makes somebody feel good and makes them more likely to keep contributing. The bigger goal is to have people feel comfortable with the idea that they can, and could, and will contribute to etcd in the future.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm planning to participate in the Contrib
Nice.
Fest. I have contributed a little bit before, but I have never been to a Contrib Fest. So does it help to start ahead of time, or how does it go? You show up and then you pick an issue and code the fix?
Yeah, you can do either way. I guess actually one, you've made small contributions to etcd.
Yeah, I have contributed before, but that
So
didn't complete in say 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It wasn't of that nature. So that's why I wonder, should I start ahead of time on something?
Yeah. And I think it wouldn't be bad to pick something out. And part of the question is going to be how many new to us people we have at this. Because if a bunch of new to us people, what we're going to ask you to do is to actually pair up with one of those people. Because and say, hey, I'm working on this, work on it with me.
Okay. So I guess
if we don't have a lot of new to us people, then you might just be working alongside, Marek and Bogdan and stuff, and working on
Yeah, I see it
actually
more
contributing.
as like, as long as there will be enough, experienced people, because like if Joe Betts will be there, like I expect much more. We'll be able, like, we'll double or triple our capacity, as he's one of the, or like much more experienced maintainers. Yeah, like hands-on, like help whatever we can do, to to work on certain issue or PR. There is like no goal, like we will not, I don't think like having a goal other than having people get involved or advance their contributions is needed.
Yeah, so let's say
Yeah, for sake of time, I want to go to the next topic. I'm trying to find because there is no, I didn't find an official calendar entry or like schedule entry because for the meeting.
yeah, let me look for it because I put it on my calendar, I thought. So
I read the email, so yeah, if you can, but yeah, there will be a project meeting which is on the day before conference, which is like, how do you call it, co-located events. Yeah, so if anyone wants to join, I will be writing down whatever I got on email.
oh yeah, it's actually on Tuesday. So it's on Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yeah, so
PM.
I expect this session will be like, I know, more, I don't know if more advanced, but I would expect talking more about the project, but yeah, technically also everyone is welcome to at least if they want to listen what is important for the project. I don't know if we will have enough people to discuss what is important, but or to make any decisions, but I think like having a discussion or like sharing thoughts would be great.
Yeah, I'm wondering how far that is from the Kubernetes Contributor Summit, which is also happening on Tuesday. I hadn't realized
At the same time.
Oh,
you mean how
at
far?
the same right at the same time, and I'm wondering how. Yeah, I don't know where I
hope not far, but because I'm also signed up for both.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's in the afternoon, so it's going to be unconference time for the Kubernetes Contributor Summit. So, if it's a reasonable walk, then we can just have people cross over. Nobody's going to object to that.
Sounds good.
So, yep. Yeah, and then I put this up. Mark needs to confirm that these are the right time slots, because that email went only to you. But if so, we also need people to set up to help us staff the kiosk. We don't really need more than 2 people in the kiosk at a time, but we do want to cover it for its open times.
So I only take like, because you can take full day or half of the shift. So because I will be only current maintainers, and so I only picked like smaller slots. But if anyone wants to help or chat, that would be great. Yeah, that's March. Okay. I have different dates or no. Oh, okay. I have I have the PM ones here. I got the PM, partial PM kiosk. So I will write the time. Okay, and so I will write the time, but going to the next thing, there is one presentation on maintainer track session. So I will be talking about the work on etcd data inconsistencies that we built tool chain and to find and to find all the inconsistencies, and yeah, happy. Maybe it will be interesting for you. Yeah, so that's all from KubeCon. Josh, do you want to talk?
Yeah, no, that's about it. I'll be bugging everybody over the mailing list too about signups and everything else.
Hey,
So
So one more thing from me. We also have a session about operating etcd. So I would love to learn from this community. We will share our experience about operations, and I would love to compare notes with members from this community. I think that link should work. I copied it from there. But otherwise, it's me and my colleague Chao Chen will be presenting. Thank you.
Yeah, so feel free to add yeah, if you can, please feel free to add it, so it will be easier. Add a link to that schedule, so it will be easier to access stuff for everyone.
Sure, will do. Thanks.
yeah, annoyingly, there's another etcd presentation that's right at the same time as our ContribFest.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I mean, last year Mai was the only one. Like, there was no presentation for some time, but now we have 3.
Yeah, no, this one's a performance and scaling presentation. I mean, it's not only about etcd; it's about scaling Kubernetes in general, but there's a heavy etcd component to it. But it's at the same time as our ContribFest. So
okay. Quickly on the next topic, just an FYI, we are me and Benjamin are working on cutting the new releases, new patch releases. Those are pretty bulky. We found a lot of new issues thanks to more activity and the new testing framework that I mentioned before. I hope to have them done within a week. At least 3.5 should be done soon, and immediately after, I expect Benjamin to start the 3.4 release. Yeah, that's all from me. Ramses, do you want to talk about your topic?
Yes. Hello, everyone. So in my organization, there is a team. They currently have a product that takes advantage of etcd 3.4. The product has already made it to the customer. They were assuming that rolling upgrades will be guaranteed between 3.4 and 3.5, and they are currently hoping to upgrade their etcd to 3.5. However, in that link, one of the first notes says that because of a change on the write-ahead log, it is not possible to do rolling upgrades from 3.4 to 3.5 if authorization is being used. And well, I wanted to hear your opinion on this, any potential workaround, or if this is something that could be addressed in 3.5 by improving the code.
Have you filed an issue about this?
No, but I learned about it recently. But first, I wanted to ask if you had any temporary recommendations.
I don't know if I can talk for everyone, but I don't have experience with running authorization and upgrading. So this is like, the problem is this is documentation for 3.4 to 3.5 that was written like 2 years ago. So I would definitely recommend always starting from issue, because people that wrote this recommendation might not be here, but maybe Piotr has more context.
Oh, I don't remember this change actually, but like one thought says that if it talks about wall format, that it means like we need to make sure that in the time between snapshot and the head of the wall log, there are no operations that change user passwords and other things. Like in general, it's rather like the recommendation so far was that we are not enabling any functionality till two releases happens. And this way we are protected from the problems during upgrade because we are sure that N-1 version also support the new functionality, but probably because of the very infrequent releases, someone broke this rule. But like I would assume that if the window without operations that touch the authorization is long enough, then the upgrade would succeed. But it of course requires experiments whether it works. I don't think there are any proactive checks that will stop from attempting the rolling upgrade.
Could we make, because I work on doing downgrades, we needed to solve similar problems. Could we update the migrator tool, or like write a script that will ensure that there is no incompatible wall entries, and just make, I know if you can make a snapshot, but
I think the keyword here is whether we support rolling upgrade. If we need to use additional tools in the meantime, being rolling update.
Yeah, you cannot do even as like an init container, like before like during upgrade before the etcd. Running script will not be enough because you need to do it online, or
well, like you implemented a checker, if I remember correctly, that can answer whether in the head of the wall log there are any entries that are not supported by 3.5. So with some combination of this checker running in the background that says there is a green light to start the rolling update, it might be safer. It's still subject to races. So ideally, if like I'm brainstorming actively, but some solution would be that we block for some time explicitly ability to perform such requests, then roll enough or may force a snapshot, do migration, and unblock the authorization changes.
Yeah, but this is like pretty big effort. So I mean, so we will not design it like from I don't expect anyone would be able to easily implement it. So I would for Ramses, I would definitely recommend sending an issue and asking, like, I mean, I expect Benjamin or like me could write the script that for detection, but the blocking part that Piotr mentioned could be much harder. Yeah.
Issues there. Thank you. But I have a question. So if I am following correctly, it seems that a potential workaround is to modify the client, not the actual etcd client, but the client that my team implemented to talk to etcd, so that authorization operations don't happen just before a rolling upgrade is going to start. Would that be a workaround?
Not, I mean, yes, but not authorization, but changes of user permission. Do you have, Piotr, do you have context? of user permissions and user passwords, but I would need to double check what exact wall entries. There should be a list. Maybe we should write a list, maybe one action item, like first thing, like if you send an issue with explaining your case, would be listing which commands should not, like from maintainers, which command should not be used, and we could add it to documentation. So being more exact
Yes.
in recommended, not just saying disable like authorization, but alternative would be stop using like list of commands you should not be using during upgrade.
I have some hope that this is experimental API, this admin authorization commands that still have a flag. So one option would be to temporarily roll, like do rolling update of etcd binaries to the configuration with these flags turned off. Then snapshot, wait long enough, do migration, and potentially switch the flags back. So, but this requires some exploration.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think. Yeah, so if Ramses, if you can file the issue describing what exact case you want to do, and maybe what are your limitations, I think we should be able to help and update. And in the end, would be great to make better recommendation than just saying don't use authorization.
Yes, I create the issue. Thank you for the comments.
I don't know how quick is the topic, but Bogdan, do you want to quickly go?
Yeah, I just wanted to call out, let me know if there's anything else I need to provide on this issue. I think this is a real bug. I think the fix, at least that I suggested, is pretty simple. So yeah, take a look. It only affects the situations when OS is enabled, because like to make it quick. So when OS is enabled, the interceptor will call get token, and that will call the OS. And the errors that are returned by OS module are not the gRPC type. So there's a error conversion that's going on there, and it strips out the gRPC code ability basically to get a gRPC code from the error. Anyway, so take a look. If it's not clear, I can probably provide more explanation. There's the multiple tests that I've added. That's it.
Okay. So can you rebase the change?
Okay, I'll rerun this. Okay.
I can rerun it for you. Can you just rebase if it fails because of being on the old code that has a flaky, because we fixed this flake, and you should just be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, my rerunning will not help.
That's already ready. Okay, I'll do that. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks for pinging us. Sorry for that we were not able. I was just not sure about this change.
Yeah, no problem. I think this is a rare case because not many people run OS. So
okay, that's all the time that we have for today. Thanks everyone for joining, and happy Easter.
Thank you.
Easter.
Okay, and see some of you at KubeCon.
Yeah, and see you at KubeCon.